Yes, people, welcome to Man Knows Football. You are here with Guni for that post-match review of Wolverhampton versus Chelsea that ended in 0-0 over at the Molineux in the Premier League fixture today. And to be honest with you, I'm looking at the result as more of a glass half full rather than a glass half empty, because you've got to look at the context around the situation. Chelsea recently we've been decimated with injuries, and just recently we've had an extra 3 COVID cases to hit our first team squad. So we are completely decimated and we are handicapped when it comes to selection choice. So off the bat, I'm going to say Tuchel is not really to blame for these results. It's just an unfortunate circumstance, you get me? But before the game, Chelsea were in a situation where they had to reach out to the Premier League and request for the game to be postponed, and the Premier League did deny that, which is why we did see the game go on today. I am very happy to watch my boys in Blue play. I'm always happy to see them play, you get me? I love the Chelsea. But it's interesting to see games elsewhere that have been postponed. So hopefully the Premier League will be a little bit more transparent to let us know what kind of numbers the squad needs before a game can be postponed. But before I get into the content, make sure you do like, share, subscribe. Leave your thoughts down there in the comments as well. And also, smash that notification bell as well. Because right now, in the busy period that I'm in, we can't always be cutting up the promos and that. I'm a one-man band, but I've got a million and one other things going on right now. So if you smash the notification bell, you will know before everybody else when the videos come out. So yeah, just do that, man. Makes life easy for me, makes life easy for you. And also, to the new watchers, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Don't just be here and not subscribe, blood. Hit that subscribe button, you get me? So to the left and to the right of me, we've got both teams starting 11s. And we're going to start off with Chelsea because obviously we have a massive selection handicap. So let's see how Thomas Tuchel improvised for the game today. And we're going to start off immediately with the big elephant in the room, which is the midfield pivot, because this week we didn't see that usual pairing of Jorginho and Ruben Loftus-Cheek, and that's also down to injury. But we had the return of that little French maestro, aka one of the best midfielders in the world, playing at 50% fitness though, N'Golo Kante. And next to him we did have Trevor Chalobah, who, as many Chelsea fans, are not really surprised to see him play there, because in previous loan moves, the one that I'm mainly signalling to is the one over in France, where he did do a job in the midfield and he did very well there. So as well today, I didn't expect to see him struggle. He didn't struggle. I felt he done his job well. Did pick up a yellow card. I mean, it's only natural if you're going to be tenacious in that midfield position to pick up a couple of them cards, you get me? But we're going to come on to the players' individual performances later on. Then obviously that front three didn't change. We had Pulisic in that false 9 position, which I'm not a fan of. Then you got Mount, and then you got Hakim Ziyech. We started the game pretty well. I'm not going to lie to you. We started the game on the front foot. Reece James again with an early chance threatening goal. Unfortunately, we were not able to get that goal, but it was a good start nonetheless. But that quickly fizzled out very, very fast. Things just went left completely. Our passing just wasn't making it to the right man. We was just giving the ball away to Wolverhampton. When we did get the ball, passes were sideways, uninspired. Weren't really trying to drive forward, break forward. Everything was slow and sloppy. Pressing up front was non-existent, which was which was a surprise to me, because you've got Mason Mount, who is just like an Energizer bunny, just getting up and down, full of energy. So is that a sign of tired legs? Our players struggling? But it was surprising to see that in the first half. Big up Wolves. They were not going to sit back that whole game. The first few minutes of that quick start that we had, I knew it wasn't going to last long. I knew Lage was going to tell them players to really implement their game on us and really try and get in behind, which they did a couple of times, you know. Daniel Podence, a name that I did mention in my preview, was a handful today. He was everywhere, very difficult man to pick up, and was really looking to make opportunities happen for Wolverhampton, really linking up play well with his teammates. Jean Moutinho as well, looking dangerous from set pieces when they had their set pieces. Dion Donker, I felt he had done a good job in that midfield. No one really had a terrible game for Wolverhampton. I thought their goalkeeper Sarr had a very good game as well. well. When he was called upon, he was very reliable. But Wolverhampton, they were unlucky to not get the first goal. But well, they did get a goal, but it was disallowed by offside. Podence did put one in as well. He wasn't the one in the offside position. It was Raul Jimenez who interfered with play, which made sure that the goal was disallowed. Right decision from the referee. Early scare from Chelsea, and I'm going to say this off the bat from now. Had that goal had gone in, I don't think there was any way coming back. Yes, I know it was early, and yes, I know it's Wolverhampton and we're Chelsea, but by the way we've been playing and like as the game went on, I would be right to say we didn't look like scoring really and truly. Chances weren't really there, very few and far between. It was a dominant first half from Wolverhampton. I'm not gonna lie to you. They controlled possession well, they controlled the midfield well. They didn't really let us get into any sort of passing rhythm, really trying to put pressure on our players when they're receiving the ball. They did everything right in the first half. So the second half was a completely different contrast from the first half. Obviously Tuchel had to make changes because of the Chalobah injury. He brought on Saul and he also brought on Mateo Kovacic. So we did get a midfield three of Kante, Kovacic and Saul. And I'm going to start off with Saul actually because I criticised him like crazy. I actually said I want him out of the club, sent back to La Liga, never to come back again. Today, Saul did not light the world on fire, but he did get the basics right. He did make a couple of errors I'm willing to look over because his passing today was good. It was progressive. He was looking for like angles to really try and get other players in behind the Wolverhampton defence. It was blatant. It was definitely the best performance I've seen Saul have in a Chelsea shirt. So very encouraging sign there. Reece James eventually had to move into the back three to deal with Adama Traore, who came on and was playing down the middle. Completely understandable from Tuchel, which is a move I actually thought was genius. I commend that because Azpilicueta, who we saw struggling in the first half, giving away the ball, getting caught out, if he had been instructed to mark Azpilicueta, it would have been a nightmare. I think Azpilicueta would have been food for Adama Traore, whereas Reece James got a bit of pace about him, strong as a bull. Reece James, you get me? So I think he had the capacity to deal with Adama Traore. So a very smart move from Thomas Tuchel. Did it take away from our attacking potency? Obviously, if you're going to lose Reece James on that right wing, I would say so. But even still, I thought it was our midfield that really impressed me today. It was just that penetration that we was getting. N'Golo Kante winning the ball and just turning that transition over from defensive to attack so quickly. Mateo Kovacic also being there. You can just see in comparison to the first half, we was moving the ball a lot quicker. It was covering a lot more ground, getting in behind that midfield a lot more successfully, playing our attackers in a little bit more. But that front three, man, I'm not going to lie to you. Again, it looked very uninspired. I'm not going to blame Tuchel for picking the same three that we saw against Everton because we do have selection handicap, like I said. But again, it just wasn't good enough. Like, certain players are not really getting close enough to goal. Like Mason Mount, I would have liked to see him have a couple of more one-on-one opportunities or find himself one-on-one with the goalkeeper a bit more. But instead, we're finding him drifting out wide. It is what it is with Mace. That's what you get with him. He's a workhorse. He loves the club and he's an absolute top quality player. But Mason Mount, I would have loved to see him a little bit more in front of goal. Hakim Ziyech as well. I ain't gonna lie to you. I saw the idea, but it just wasn't really like being executed properly. I don't know. It's like I said, whether it's tired legs or whether it's just a lack of understanding of what they're supposed to do as a trio in that position. I don't know, but something needs to change because at no point except one, when Marcus Alonso played that beautiful ball through in the second half for Christian Pulisic to get one-on-one with Jose Sarr. Now, I ain't gonna say Pulisic should have scored that chance. I wouldn't expect him to score that chance because it was a difficult one to take and it was a good save from Sarr. So it is what it is, man. But in terms of that, when teams just sit back, they're just comfortable to defend against Chelsea because we've got no knowledge on how to score. We've got nothing going forward. We've got nothing potent going forward. But to be honest with you, I ain't gonna lie, 0-0 in the match preview. I said that I'd be happy to come away with a draw. I predicted a 1-1. Neither team scored. Wolverhampton continued their decent defensive record. Chelsea get back to having a clean sheet at least, but unfortunately without the 3 points. But definitely I saw some positives today. I love seeing Kovacic come back into the squad. Loved seeing N'Golo Kante, who to me was Chelsea's man of the match. I just thought the fact that this guy is 50% fit to be playing and he's just controlling the midfield and controlling the game the way he was just goes to show just how world class this guy is and how lucky we are to have him at the club. But definitely, if we're going to be able to manage injuries a bit better, and keep them away from key players and we manage this COVID situation, or, well, we've got to see how the Premier League handles the whole thing. But hopefully we can start bringing more personnel slowly back into the squad. And these games that we're drawing and not picking up points against, we should be winning them. Chelsea with a fit first 11 is staying at the top of the table all through Christmas, in my honest opinion. Honestly, well, it's like I said, there's a lot to play for in the season. It's not all done. Like, I did want the Premier League, but there's still the Champions League, the FA Cup to play for. You get me? But yeah, today, like I said, I won't be too disappointed. I've got to give a couple of big ups to a few Wolves players. Second half, I thought it was much better from Chelsea when we had our main men on and we went to we had the midfield free. Saul again, big up himself. He had a much better game today. Best game in the Chelsea shirt. Very good to see Kovacic back. You saw what we missed when he came onto that field. Press resistant player, man. It's like he plays with butter all over his body. You can't touch him. Very good at the dribbling. Very good at, again, starting attacks from deep and stuff. This is the quality that we've missed in the squad. N'Golo Kante, again, he's just all-roundness as a player. His all-roundness as a player that we're starting to see, like the transitions into those attacks and those passes and just thinking that bit quicker than he used to, not holding up the ball too long. You get me? So now, when we get our attack back, you can already see things are going to come back to winning ways and that. It's just unfortunate that we got as many injuries as we got, and during this period as well did not make it any easier. But if you agree with me, if you're not too disappointed at the result today and you're looking at it with perspective, let me know your thoughts down there in the comments as well. Were you expecting 3 points after today? Are you happy with a point after today? And what do you think of Chelsea's title hopes? Do you think it's too little too late at the minute? Liverpool did slip up against Tottenham today. They drew with Tottenham 2-2. Manchester City, however, business as usual, 4-0 against Newcastle. They definitely look like the title favourites at the minute. Are they going to slip up later on in the season? It'll be interesting to know from you guys. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you do like, share, subscribe and smash that notification bell as well. You get me? But wherever you are, whatever you're doing, make sure you do stay safe. Up the Chelsea. Bless.